Hi guys, Dave here. We're in lockdown in Melbourne for 6 weeks, so I thought I'd make this video just some things to look for when buying a driving light. Now this video will contain a little bit of a comparison sort of review or thoughts on my change from going from the livid Mac 2s to the Icons by Teralume. But the more to the point of this video is the things to look for and what makes these lights a great light versus some others that are on the market. Now, price-wise, these two are at very different spectrums. The livids are $645 each. The Teralumes are $699 for the pair. So that's a big difference too. So straight up, you got to look at: do you need to spend that massive margin to get a good light, or can you get it in the sort of the mid-price range? So that's why I wanted to put the little comparison in there as well. Both fantastic lights. Which one's going to be better? We'll have a look. Now, why did I change lights? Basically, with these being so expensive, there's some other mates that have got a couple other brands of lights that are in the same sort of price bracket as the Teralumes, and they absolutely smash me on light output. So I thought it's time to upgrade, and these were on the market, so that's what we went for. You will see at the start of the video, obviously, the special thanks to Teralume. Yes, we are supported by them. That's not the reason we went with them for the lights. There was a few other brands that did reach out to us as well and want to work with us, but we looked at the companies overall and just liked what Teralume stood for, so we went with them. Now, first off, there's some obvious differences in these two lights as well. These livids have 8 10-watt LEDs versus the Teralumes, which have 34 LEDs that make a total of 120 watts. So there is a bit of a difference in wattage there as well, but there is a massive difference in the lux levels and the distance. So the livids are 1 lux at 1007 meters and 7495 lumens. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good, but it's not quite what the Teralumes have got. The Teralumes are 1 lux at 1303 meters and to 14,616 lumens. So basically double the light output of the livids. Will that show in actual real life testing? I'll put up a little bit of it at the end of this video. I'll go for a drive, run the livids, and we'll run the Teralumes, and we'll see what the actual difference is. Is it double the output? The color temperature, that's another important thing to look for. Livids are 5,000, Teralumes are 5,500 Kelvin. They're kind of the sweet spots. When you start getting above the 6,000, that becomes a really white light. Reflection off signs is horrible. When you get dust, when you get fog, rain, it all reflects back, and it makes it very hard to use a light. There's a couple of different options you sort of get when looking at driving lights as well, and that's the beam angle. Do you want to flood? Do you want to spot? Personally, I like to go for the distance because I run the light bar on the roof. So a nice tight beam angle is what I look for. Then you don't get that wastage of light that just floods out into the abyss. These are 3.7 degrees, these are 5 degrees, so it's nice and tight. Shoots the light down the road where you want it, and then the light bar on the roof, that's more of a flood, that infills sort of the edges. Now as well, when you're looking at the lights, one thing you want, and you can see with these, they're still nice and clear, the lenses. Obviously these are brand new, these have been on the car for a bit over 12 months. I've had other brands of lights on the car for years too, and that's a very important thing, looking for a good quality made lens. If you buy a cheaply made light, you'll notice it fairly quickly when that lens starts to deteriorate. You get that yellow look and it dramatically decreases the light output. That's just because it's just a cheap material that's been used in the lens and it's not UV stabilized, so the UV deterioration just smashes it. Even just when the dust sits on it and you clean it, and yeah, look for a good lens, because that look of the yellow lens, it looks horrible. Waterproofing as well. You want a light that's waterproof. You don't want to see your fish tank in the bottom of your light fitting like you see on a lot of lights as well. So IP69 is what these are rated. That's waterproof, dustproof, down to 3 meters. So that's perfect. We use these cars obviously in all sorts of conditions, river crossings, rain, hail, snow. So you want them to be waterproof. Water on the inside, that then affects everything. So everything starts to tarnish, gets the watermarks in there. and then again, light output's reduced. So something you thought was bright at the start, obviously over time, as that lens deteriorates, as it gets filthy on the inside, you're losing all that light output. So one thing really to look for. So something else that's important to look at when you're looking at light fittings, a really well made light will have a good heat sink. So this is not so important, I guess, driving at highway speeds, because you're getting plenty of airflow past the light to cool them down. It still does have an effect, but where you'll really notice it is at lower speeds. So say you're full driving, you're hunting, things like that, where you're just slowly cruising along the tracks. You need your light to dissipate that heat. What the lights do, and it's built into every light, they basically ramp down a little bit as they get hot. So what that does is protects the chips from destroying themselves. There's a lot of independent testing out there that I've seen some research done on some of the well-known brands, and the brands you think are grouse, they ramp down anywhere from say 40% to like 66% they've seen. And that's basically over half your light output you had when you first turned your light on. The Teralumes, they only ramp down to 12 in the testing that they've done. So yeah, all because of that well-designed heat sink, which gets rid of that heat. We use them for driving, that's what we do. So that's where we want our light to be usable. So there's no point if we've got a nice bright light, we start forward driving and it ramps down and then we lose all that output. Another thing you'll find too in a good quality light is noise suppression. So basically what that means, when you're running the light, if you have a cheaply made light, you will get like a hum or a fuzz over some of your electronics, just like a zzz or a shh when the light's actually running. I've heard it before in just cheap eBay lights that I've had on just work cars and things like that. But a good quality light, zero noise. So that's one important thing to look for, especially with your communications, your radios, things like that. So another thing to look for as well, the bracket that the actual light comes on. It's sort of overlooked, but it's important. You want the light to be solid. One piece bracket is always better than something that's got a weld in it. If you've got a weld, it's gonna break. Maybe if you don't use it that much, it's not gonna break, but if you start to go out and do your touring in the outback or you're on corrugated roads, things like that, just the vibration, the constant vibration will crack welds, especially if they're cheap. So you want a good quality one piece bracket, stainless steel here, so it's gonna last forever. And you'll see as well the way the lights actually sit into the bracket, so they're real snug, so they're not sitting high with all this unused space, which then puts extra pressure on the bracketry as it's vibrating along on those roads. So snug fit into the bracket. Also helps with where you're going to mount it. If you've got a bar with hoops and you've only got a small space, you don't want that wasted area taken up by just sitting underneath the bracket here and the light sitting up here. So that's one thing to look for, a good bracket. Also with the bracket, anti-theft bolts. There's scumbags out there. They will steal anything that they can get their grubby little hands on. So if you can just come past with a socket set or a shifter or something, just zoop, 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 take a set of lights, they're going to walk away with hundreds of dollars worth of lights and you're going to be left with nothing. So, does it come with anti-theft bolts? If it does, beautiful. Also another inclusion to look at when you're buying lights as well. Does it come with a wiring kit? So, if it doesn't come with a wiring kit, on top of the value you're going to buy your lights for, you're going to have to spend another $50, $60, $70 just to buy a wiring kit. So does it come with a wiring kit? These Teralumes do. So it's all quite simple, plug and play. Whoop, drop that one. But it comes with all the adapters. And then one thing with your wiring looms too, make sure they're good quality. Make sure they're good quality seals, because that's going to stop water ingress, which will then lead to corrosion of your terminals and then reduced output again. Another thing too that can be overlooked is the warranty. When you're buying a light, look for a good warranty. Some of your cheaper lights will come with maybe a 12-month warranty. These Teralumes are 5 years, the Livid's a lifetime warranty. So make sure you're going to get support from the company that you're giving your hard-earned money to. As well as that, you don't want a company, so actually you can check Google reviews, things like that. You want a company that stands by the people that purchase their products. No good buying a light, having something go wrong with it, give them a call, hey, I've got a broken light, then they try and make up some excuse as to why you broke it when it's actually the fault of the light fitting. So that's one thing worth looking at and doing a bit of research yourself on the company itself you're buying from. that's some of the basics. I'm no expert on all those little technical things that are out there light-wise, so I'm hoping those sort of help you with sort of some basics to look for when buying a light. I guess all that's really left to do is we'll jump in the car. I'll show you the rundown that I did with the livets, and then we'll have a look at how the Teralumes are, and we'll see if I'm happy with the choice and swapping over. So let's wait for it to get dark. Wow, yeah, instantly you can tell that light output is definitely increased. Even just how clear and crisp that light is too, that's brilliant. I don't know if this camera is going to show exactly the differences and whatnot and how good quality light this is. I'm filming both of these on the GoPro, so that way there's no, the settings are all the same. It's just automatic on the GoPro, however it does its thing. So it's all fair, so there's no way of tweaking the light settings and things like that to make one look better than the other. So yeah, look, but that's a big improvement. Down that little road that sort of the terrain's a little bit similar to what you'd see four driver in the bush, I guess, with the overhung trees. Let's see how it compares down here. Alright, so as if we're driving up the bush, low beam, dull as, high beam, I guess one other thing I can show you as well, adding the light bar, what sort of the infill that gives as well. It's a perfect combination that I've found. The two lights on the bull bar, one up high, just fills in that light so good. So flip the camera back around, give you a look at that. So that's the Teralume light bar and their driving lights. Let's have a look. That's your spotties. Then you add in that top layer of light. So you put those two combinations on your car and it's basically like driving in the daytime in the bush. Cannot recommend it enough. The lights are bloody brilliant. The light bar I've had on for a while. Obviously the lights, they're only new, so if you keep checking in on our socials, we'll be able to give you an up-to-date sort of rundown with what they're like as time goes on. But super stoked. Couldn't be more happier with this light output. It's pretty much all I need. Like, there's nothing really I need to add on there to improve that at all. So now it's just a matter of getting up the bush to be able to use it. Hopefully we get out of this lockdown soon and get back amongst it. The sound of that V8's so good, eh? Might just actually give you a look with these as well, what sort of on-road driving's like. I know I showed you down there on the dirt road, but I'll come up here and we'll just swing it right. It's like daytime. It's just mint. Add that light bar on, eh? Show you the difference of that. They're brilliant, these things. there be light. Yeah, that's bright. Alright, so there you have it. That light upgrade is worth every cent that you're going to spend on a set of lights. Just do your research, put your time into it, and then make sure you're buying the light that's right for you. Make sure the light is what it says it's going to be. Don't just go, oh, your mate said, yeah, the light's brilliant. These Teralumes can definitely vouch for them. If you do have questions, hit up Dan. He's super helpful. You got the Instagram account, you got Facebook, and you've also got their webpage. So you can jump on there, get an email address. He'll answer any questions you need to and help you and point you in the right direction for the light that's right for you. Adding that light bar in too, putting a light bar on the roof if you can afford to do both. If not, one or the other is fine. But that makes such a world of difference too. It gives you such a high level of light and just that spread that turns at daytime like you're seeing. That one's a 40-inch, it's 200 watt, it's 12,300 odd lumens, so it's super bright too. So yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. If I did forget something, if I missed a point that makes a light a good light fitting, please drop a comment in the comment section below to help others out. Like I said, I'm no expert at this. I'm just all the research I've done over the years of looking for lights and only buying decent quality lights, except for when I had the eBay ones on the work car. It's paid off, and I'm super happy with it. So till the next video, till we're out of lockdown and actually able to see you on the tracks, we'll just be sitting at home and looking for some more content to bring to you. So thanks for watching. Hope this helps. See you around.